If I had to buy my very first sewing machine again, knowing everything I know now, I'd make a completely different decision. Not because my old machine was bad, because I was comparing all the wrong things. Back then, I thought more stitches meant a better machine. I thought more accessories meant more value. I even thought a bigger price tag automatically meant better sewing. Yeah, none of that turned out to be true. Today, I'd eliminate machines one by one, not by the marketing, but by what actually matters after you've sewn hundreds of projects. So let's do exactly that. As always, links to all products are in the description of this video. Let's get started now. First thing I'd ignore, decorative stitches. Seriously, walk into any sewing store and you'll see machines bragging about 200, 300, even 600 built-in stitches. It sounds amazing until you realize most sewists spend their lives using the same few: straight stitch, zigzag, stretch stitch, blind hem, buttonhole. That's basically your daily toolkit. Everything else is nice to have, not something I'd base my purchase on. The moment I stop caring about stitch count, a lot of machines disappear. Number 5, Brother XM2701. This is probably one of the easiest machines to recommend without overthinking it. Not because it's perfect, because it gets the important stuff right. The horizontal drop-in bobbin is simple to load and easy to check at a glance. The automatic needle threader saves your patience. The free arm makes sleeves and pant hems much easier. And the controls are simple enough that you're sewing instead of reading the manual all afternoon. What I also like is how forgiving it is. Quilting cotton, poplin, linen, fleece, light denim, simple canvas. It handles the fabrics most people actually buy when they're learning. And once you start making tote bags, hemming jeans, fixing clothes, sewing cushion covers, or trying your first shirt, it never feels like it's getting in your way. Another thing people rarely talk about, Brother accessories are everywhere. Walking feet, zipper feet, quilting feet, extra bobbins, replacement presser feet. You don't have to hunt around the internet wondering if something fits your machine. That's a bigger advantage than most people realize. Would I buy it for leather? Probably not. Heavy canvas every day? Also no. But for the kind of sewing most people actually do, it's still one of the smartest buys out there. The next thing I'd look at, build quality. This is where experience completely changes how you shop. I honestly don't care how pretty the LCD screen looks or how many decorative stitches it has. I care about whether the machine feels solid. Does it feed fabric smoothly? Does the stitch stay consistent? Does it vibrate when you speed up? Does it feel like it'll still be sewing 5 years from now? That's where the next machine stood out. Number 4, Janome HD 1000 Black Edition. This machine feels like the opposite of flashy. And I actually mean that as a compliment. Janome didn't try to impress me with gimmicks. Instead, it focused on the basics: a solid aluminum frame, reliable stitch quality, smooth feeding, simple mechanical controls. That's exactly the kind of machine that quietly earns a great reputation. I also trust Janome's long-term ownership experience. Finding replacement parts, presser feet, bobbins, or getting the machine serviced years later usually isn't a problem. That matters a lot more to me than another 50 decorative stitches I'll probably never touch. If I wanted something dependable, something I'd still enjoy pulling out years from now, this would absolutely stay on my short list. I think this tone is much closer to what you're aiming for. It's conversational, opinionated, compact, and still introduces semantic entities naturally. It sounds like someone who's genuinely spent years using sewing machines, not someone trying to explain everything they know. The next thing I'd eliminate, machines I'd outgrow too quickly. This is something nobody told me when I bought my first sewing machine. Your skills improve way faster than you think. One day you're hemming jeans, a few months later you're making shirts, then maybe a quilt, then a tote bag with thick webbing. Then suddenly you're shopping for another machine because the first one can't quite keep up. I'd rather spend a little more once than replace the whole machine later. That's why this one made my list. Number 3, Brother CS7000X. I think this is one of the easiest machines to recommend if you don't know where sewing is going to take you. Maybe you'll get into quilting, maybe garment making, maybe you'll just keep altering clothes. It handles all of them surprisingly well. The speed control is something I wish more beginners appreciated. Being able to slow the machine down around collars, cuffs, curves, or top stitching makes a much bigger difference than another 50 decorative stitches. Then you've got the start-stop button, needle up-down, adjustable speed, wide table, and a really useful selection of utility, quilting, and stretch stitches. Nothing feels like marketing fluff. It actually feels like features you'll keep using. That's why I'd never call this just a beginner machine. It's one you can genuinely grow into. The last filter. Would I still be happy with this machine 5 years from now? That's the question that eliminates almost everything. Because buying a sewing machine isn't like buying a phone. People keep these for years, sometimes decades. So I start paying attention to things like stitch consistency, fabric feeding, overall refinement, accessory support, and whether the machine simply feels enjoyable to sew on. That's where my final 2 machines stood apart. Number 2. Juki HZL 300. Juki doesn't have the same mainstream name recognition as Brother or Singer, but once you start talking to experienced sewists, Juki comes up a lot. And after using one, it's easy to understand why. The box feed system keeps fabric moving evenly, especially when you're switching between lightweight cotton, slippery fabrics, thicker denim, or quilting layers. The automatic thread cutter is one of those features you think you don't need until you have it. Same with programmable needle up-down, speed control, excellent buttonholes, consistent stitch quality. Nothing here feels like it was added just to make the spec sheet longer. It all makes sewing smoother. If I knew sewing was going to become a long-term hobby, this machine would be extremely difficult to walk away from. Number 1. Janome Skyline S5. But if I could only walk out of the store with one machine, this would probably be it. Not because it's loaded with the most features, because every time I compare it against the others, I keep running out of reasons not to buy it. The stitch quality is excellent. Fabric feeding is smooth and predictable. There's enough workspace for quilts and larger projects. The controls are intuitive. The build quality inspires confidence. And whether I'm making garments, quilting, sewing bags, home decor, or everyday alterations, it never feels like I'm asking too much from the machine. That's ultimately why it ends up at number 1. Not because it's perfect, because if I were spending my own money today, it's the machine I'd feel best about owning 5 years from now. The funny thing is, if I had watched a video like this before buying my first sewing machine, I probably would have made a completely different choice. Hopefully, this helps you do exactly that. And if you've already got a sewing machine you absolutely love, or one you wish you'd skipped, let everyone know in the comments. Those real experiences are often just as helpful as any review. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.